everyone, and welcome to the Resident Rulebreakers. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Camille.
And on today's podcast, we are going to be discussing episode 304, Belief System, which is the third season's episode for Halloween. It's a Halloween-themed episode. This is our second part of our Halloween special. That episode was written by our former podcast guest, Marqui Jackson, who we had on the podcast back in July, who we discussed this episode specifically with Marqui about some plot lines that were in here. If you haven't heard Marqui's interview, go back and check out his interview because it really delves in on what he was thinking when he wrote this episode. The director of this episode was T. West. And before we get into the actual episode, first off, you probably looked on our social media this week and noticed Camille had surgery this week. So, Camille, how's your recovery going?
Fine. I'm just healing. So my foot is in a cast. So the doctor's happy with how things look and stuff. So I am doing better. Thank you guys for the well wishes and stuff. It's overwhelming. Thank you. I just hope that with the new medicine and with the doctor, with the surgery and stuff, things are going to heal faster. I mean, the reason why the surgery was done was because it wasn't healing and stuff. So it's a pain in the ass.
So there's that. Also this week we had a lot of news and BTS information. They're back on set. They're back to filming. We had some hints of that they were restarting production last week. They were calling for set monitors they monitor the temperatures of everyone who enters the set. They make sure everything's clean and sanitized, and people are, doing their part to prevent COVID-19 from spreading on the set. And pretty much that, which by the way, if you want to be a set monitor for The Resident, they have openings available. If you live in the Atlanta, Georgia area, I saw a posting online. You just got to email your resume to whoever in charge. There's a post in the Facebook group about this. So just look at that. Posted the information there so you can go check that out. Anyway, also, they are also hiring people to be background actors for the iconic wedding, which they should be taping next week, which lets us know that maybe it's going to be in that season earlier than we expected it to be.
I just have a feeling it's probably, because they said it's probably going to be the third episode, third or fourth, because we know that they're going to do the three episodes that they're going to integrate it, I guess, in season 4, so in the first couple of episodes of season 4, obviously with some changes because it's COVID, but considering how the timeline of the filming of the wedding, etc., it's probably going to be episode 3, 2 and 3 at the earliest. I don't think it's going to be episode 2, and definitely not season 3.
We're just letting you know that information is out there. It's also in the Facebook group posted by Camille, so you can go check that out. Actually, I know that because of the fact that you're going to have to be around the main cast for this one, they're going to have to test you for COVID twice, which I think was this past week. So that part is, but the fact is they were hiring people to do that and go through that. So what it revealed to us was that the wedding's coming, guys.
I'm excited about it. Woo!
And it's not gonna be some pandemic wedding. It looks like it's gonna be a real deal wedding that they're gonna be doing. So we're excited to see that.
I saw a lot of conversation on Facebook. I wasn't part of it because I was out of it. But something about the dress sizes? What's going on with that?
Okay, there was a thing on that post that said the limit on the dress size was a size 10 for women. And I really think it was because of the pandemic, they have very limited stuff in the wardrobe department to provide for people.
Yeah, but someone said that you bring your own clothes, so why are they worried about the size of the person?
I don't know. I think it was a little discriminatory, to be quite honest.
I know, same here. Okay, whoever's casting those people, don't be fat phobic, okay? Because seriously, you're gonna lose some people. You're gonna lose clients when you start to say that. It's crazy.
So there was that comment that we were like, wait a minute, just a little, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that conversation. So can we like talk to whoever that background people is and be like, hey, why are you fat phobic? Why are you telling people they gotta be at a certain size to come and what's the point? If they're bringing their own clothes, why do you care what size they're at? You know what I mean?
So Guy posted, our set photographer, he posted a picture of the clapboard, and it revealed to us who is the director of 401, which is Rob Cord, veteran director for The Resident. He's also veteran director and stuff for Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. So Rob will be on 401. We had discussions previously if we were wondering if David was going to come back and do this one since he was supposed to have 321. So yeah. We do have confirmation on our director though.
I am just curious, like how. I know they're gonna do the COVID episode season premiere, but I wonder if they're gonna like also touch upon Conrad and Logan. Like how are they gonna like
bring all these plot lines together? Don't know. We'll see in January, which brings us to our next topic. January, confirmed by the network. There was a promo that released this week that said January. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. in January. We don't have a confirmation of an actual date, but we are predicting third week of January. Third Tuesday. That's our prediction. Don't hold us to it because we don't actually know. But when that air date releases, I promise you we will post it everywhere. It will be
excited. I'm so excited that they finally have the air date. Mind you, they have like a timeline. Mind you, we have been saying that it's going to be in January because that's what Amy has told us. And we always go by the word of Amy Holden Jones, not some article. Whatever, but people, she had told us from the very beginning, all the way in April, it would likely come out in January. So now it's just confirmation that it's coming out in January and stuff like that. So I'm just glad that it's there, it's out, and we don't have to keep answering the same question over and over again. January.
Confirmed by Amy, confirmed by Fox. The Resident will air at 8, and then Prodigal Son will air behind it at 9 on Tuesday nights. So we're keeping our Tuesday slot, which is pretty good. Because when it moved to Tuesday, everyone was concerned. And yes, the ratings did drop from what it did on Monday night, but I think it still did really well on Tuesdays. So we did get a lot of information this week. So it's a good move in the right direction to see what's happening. There was a Minator video, BTS video posted by Malcolm and Shawnette this week, and it was actually posted the day of your surgery. Am I correct? Yeah, because it was posted the day of your surgery because I got off work and went, oh, Malcolm posted this video, and I recorded it and I sent it to you, and I think you were like, yay! But yeah, there's a.
I was like anesthesia loopy, so I don't even remember what day it was. I still remember. I still have to ask myself, like, what day is it? Is it Friday? What day is? I still think it's Friday. I have to remind myself it's not Friday.
But yeah, so I just remember us having so much I was kept spamming people BTS photos. There's a photo of guy posted the clapboard, and then he posted another photo of the camera operator with the grips of them prepping a scene. So we're excited to see these photos. So thank you for all the BTS. We look forward. We love seeing these. We're looking forward to seeing more photos of the cast. Like we love a full cast photos, because they normally do it, right? Mm-hmm. We haven't gotten it this year. We don't know if it's COVID or what, but we haven't gotten it all. Haven't gotten it this year. So we'll see what happens as we continue through production. But we're jumping over into 304, and our first topic is Minator. This is like a love song to Minator, this whole episode. To believe that Marqui had to push to get some of this stuff in this episode, like the kiss.
The kiss. He's like, we need the kiss. Like, yes, we definitely needed the kiss. But and it was a hot kiss, too.
Mina and AJ are going to a conference, so Mina can give a speech to the Society of Georgia Surgeons, and it's on Halloween. And they end up in this small ghost town that's been ruined by Red Rock, and they don't like Mina and AJ because they are employed by Red Rock. Not what Mina and AJ originally thought either. They thought it was because of they're black.
Yeah,
not the case. Not the case with this. We will get into that in a moment, but Mina has this weird, crazy dream, and it ends up the kiss is part of that, which it's sad that the kiss was a part of a dream, but it shows her subconscious. But they realized that Red Rock had dumped some of their pharmaceuticals into the drinking water, and it causes all these crazy dreams and stuff. So Red Rock needs to go down, and AJ even told them to sue them, even though he works for Red Rock. And you know something about this suing storyline? I want to see Red Rock, this part of this storyline, to come back full circle into the shutdown of Red Rock. Like, I'd love to see that, like, this come back to light, but it just got dropped. Like, there's a lot of things that just get dropped. We talked about this last week with Nightmares, how the storyline with Conrad's mom got it, the storyline with Nick's mental health got dropped. All these things just get dropped and fall through the cracks. This is one of those storylines.
I feel like season 4, they are going to be talking about, hopefully, the overthrow of Red Rock. So it would make sense for them to, in my opinion, talk about it because, bring back the storyline. But then again, I don't know. This whole thing, I just hate the whole, this happened and this happened and this didn't happen and and it's like, ugh. Can we have like a continuation storyline? But
more continuity wise. But yeah, that's one of the things that I want. I know that they've written all these episodes and they're filming them, so we really don't have much to go with here. But just letting y'all know that this particular plotline was. I know that they put it in for a reason, and I know that they had a reason for it. Yeah. And I'd love to see it brought back to the surface to help bring Red Rock to justice, because dumping pharmaceuticals in the drinking water of a small town in Georgia, that has to be something that could be used against them. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think it's sort of based on a true story, that town, because I've heard that there was like, I think it's mostly in reservations, or Native American reservations or whatever. So drinking water is like being poisoned, quote unquote, by like pharmaceuticals, because like I don't know, it's based on a true story. I've heard of it before, about how like drugs are I guess being flushed down the toilet or something is affecting the water system of a town or whatever.
There's the waitress at the restaurant has a infection on one of her arms, and AJ and Mina end up doing a emergency surgery in the abandoned hospital to remove some of it. And then AJ takes her back to Chastain, which is 3 hours away. She ends up surviving because AJ and Mina were there. But this town had everything against what AJ and Mina, and AJ and Mina are like the company they work for, obviously. And
yep.
But
hey, so, the other, I just wanted to bring up a little thing, and the end of the AJ Mina storyline of this episode is AJ told Mina, I guess Mina had like stage fright or something about making a speech, and AJ told her, like, just imagine the person that you want there, like don't focus on anybody else, but focus on that one person, and you're not gonna be nervous or whatever. And the person that she ended up focusing on was AJ. So this is like the beginnings of Mina realizing she does have feelings for AJ.
Because we already know AJ has feelings for Mina.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually admitted it. He admitted it to Nick.
Yeah.
So,
but it took a lot for Mina to admit it.
They haven't admitted it to each other, which, as AJ puts, he's still her mentor. And they've got a ways to go down this road. It's in this episode where he says, like, 5 years from now, we'll see, we'll be something else.
Marqui, I think, said that, having her go to this conference and stuff like that, you kind of, and being a speaker at it, it's kind of a way of realizing that, she's not just a mentee anymore, she's like moved up, you know what I mean? So it's okay to sort of start having these feelings kind of thing, come into fruition, because they're more equal than before. Does that make sense? But then, that's what Marqui said. Anyway.
Conrad and Nick, our loved Conic, they have this little argument at the beginning of the episode about leaving their candy out for their trick-or-treaters, because they just moved in together within a couple episodes previous of this one, in Flash of My Flash, which we've already discussed, so you can go back and listen to that podcast. But Conrad's shirt, the shirt because I remember when Fox released this photo of Matt wearing this shirt with this whatever ghost or whatever on it, and the first thing I did, before I had seen the press release, I had seen this photo, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do a Halloween episode, and I just knew from that photo that what it was. And it's him pointing at the ghost, and it's funny. But Conrad's like, I don't want my house TP'd, okay? So I love that little argument they had at the beginning. And that's really the only Conrad and Nick stuff we had, because they were in different plot lines for majority of the episode. Nick was with Kane, and Conrad was with Devin. So there's that. But I mentioned earlier about us talking about racism. Well, this particular plot line has a white supremacist, and we're dealing with Kane being his doctor, and this episode deals with it quite well.
It had DID. At first I thought they had DID, which is this, if for those who don't know, it's dissociative identity disorder, where you have like split personalities, pretty much. You go from like one personality to the next. Mind you, it's very rare. Some people actually fake it, but this one was caused by a tumor that Kane found. Kane found, and he was arrogant, I guess, because he was like, I'm gonna take care of this tumor. I'm gonna make him the good guy. Get rid of this white supremacist or whatever. So he didn't wait for the psychiatrist records or anything like that. Even though Nick wanted him to, and it was the right thing to do, he did it anyway. And sure enough, he came to find out that it was the other personality that was fake, I guess, whereas the real personality was him being white supremacist.
Yes. Well, Kane's ego was just too much for his own good. We know that for a fact. Yeah. He should have listened to Nick, and he should have listened to Belle, because Belle was threatened by the white supremacist. His name is Hades, which is very fitting for white supremacist. Hades' followers threatened Belle once in the ER, because in Georgia, if we're people who don't understand how it works in the South, because unfortunately I do, most of the southern states are open carry states. It means you can openly carry a gun as long as you have a permit. And Jada, Georgia is one of those states, and these people are openly carrying their guns. But Belle says, not in my hospital. Georgia might be, but Chastain isn't, and he tells them to leave, especially since it was after visiting hours or whatever it was. But when Kane takes Hades into surgery, they attack Belle in his office. How they got up to the administration level and into Belle's office, I have no idea. Like, seriously, why wouldn't someone stop them before they got there? I have no idea. Like, security, like, where are they? Why aren't they doing their job? But anyway, they attack Belle because what happened to their leader or whatever. And Belle tries to stop Kane because of this incident, along with Nick. But Kane doesn't listen. He's like, well, I can't get in trouble because I'm your cash cow or whatever. He was just, I wanted to reach through my TV screen and strangle him. That's how much I hated him in this episode. Not saying something. Go on.
I just don't like Kane. Morris seems to still be in season 4 as a regular cast member, because we haven't heard any casting news as to whether or not he'll be downgraded or leaving the show. So as of right now, he's still part of the show, but it's like, I'm getting tired of him. I really am.
Unless they do some type of redemption arc.
That redemption arc is like a little too late, don't you think?
Yeah, they should have started. If they were going to redeem him, they needed to start it earlier. Just saying, I've seen redemption arcs do well when they start them within a couple episodes, and this isn't that. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to bring up was that Kane, to get Hades into surgery, took pretty much his right to choose away from him. He put him to sleep without his permission, which he says in the scene, he says, I'm going to do to you what you've done to so many other people. Take their right to choose away from them. Now, I understand what he's trying to say, but it's wrong from a doctor point of view. It's wrong from a human point of view. Like, as a doctor, even Devin says at the beginning of the episode, they treat everyone, no matter what. And Kane didn't do that this episode.
No. It's just anyway. But yeah, I don't think his redemption story is working. I know that they try to make him good, but maybe it's because of the long break, between seasons or whatever. But yeah, it's not going. Anyway, the guy with the body bag sitting up is still like one of my favorite scenes of that episode.
Okay, yeah, like at the beginning of the episode, there's a patient he practices vampirism. I mean, it's a fitting storyline for a Halloween episode. I mean, come on. But they proclaim him dead. Devin does, and they put him in a body bag. And the girl from the morgue, who's by the way dressed as a ghost for Halloween, how fitting.
The irony.
The irony. Anyway, he sits up and she screams, and I don't know how they did it. Like, I don't know. It was just perfect. It was just a perfect take.
My throat hurts just like trying to scream like that.
But
so I don't know how she did that.
But anyway, Conrad and Devin take on this case, and the guy's name is Remy, and he's actually played by Jonathan Lipnicki.
Oh yeah. He was I forgot he was the little vampire. He was also Stuart Little, Jonathan Lipnicki, right?
Yeah.
He was also Dawson's Creek fans like me would recognize him as Buzz. I mean, hello. He was integral.
Yeah, it's irony that he's playing a guy who's practicing vampires.
Yeah, but yeah. He's
Remy. Remy, he has a girlfriend that has some weird ways, and he's drinking her blood.
Yeah.
And he's sleeping in a coffin, and there's some other weird things that they're doing. Her name is Bella, which I mean, seriously, Marqui, really? I'm not a Twilight fan by any means, but really? Even I can get that one.
Him and his subtleties. Come on. You're not very subtle there, Marqui.
Anyway.
He's about as subtle as a hammer.
Yeah. Anyway, the vampirism is causing hemochromatosis, which is a high iron count in your blood. And anyway, let's just say that Remy and Bella break up because he decides to take treatment because it's killing him.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so Remy does seek help and everything. But there is one more thing. In this episode, in the previous episode, Conrad takes the guy off his a murderer off his pain medicine and tortures him to giving him the person he's holding hostage, his whereabouts, and he ends up being saved and everything. Well, Devin confronts him over this in this episode, and this plot line carried on for quite some time till they reconciled. But let's just say that Devin and Conrad don't see eye to eye on this, and I don't really know why they tried to put this wedge between these two characters. It seemed kind of out of place. What do you have to say about that?
Here's the thing. I feel like they both have a point.
Yeah, I think there's two sides here.
Because Conrad was wrong for, like, try to, I guess, coerce his patient by, like, taking away the meds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, he was like, tell me where you kept these people or you're not going to take the meds kind of thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, Devon isn't, like, innocent. He also was willing to do whatever to find Julian.
Yeah.
So it's not like Devon didn't do the exact same thing or whatever. But like I said, Conrad was wrong. I still stand by it. I still stand by the fact that he shouldn't have done that. and I get what people are saying, where like he was trying to save the victim's lives or whatever. But couldn't you find another way other than going, hey, here's your pain medicine. Now tell me where the girl is. You know what I mean? Or else you're not gonna get it.
So yeah, I see both sides. Where I love how Devin's like, he says to Conrad, I love that you've taught me so much stuff, but this is one thing I didn't want to be taught. And it shows he does have his morals and uses them wisely.
Conrad made Devon who he is. You know what I mean? As a doctor, I feel like Devon, we've said this before, that Devon fights for his patients. He listens, especially to his female patients. He does, he's not dismissive, etc. Those are things that Conrad, I believe, taught him. But, at this time, Devon's outgrown Conrad. And it's like, I can't, no. You know what I mean?
Because as we've pointed out many times through our season 1 rewatch, Conrad has a dark side.
Oh yeah. Scary
and this comes back to light with this plot line.
Yeah.
And so there's 2 characters in this episode that really do the wrong, and I say that I do believe I'm with you that I think Conrad did the wrong thing. I think they could have still saved the hostage and not tortured the patient. This plot line, it had a lot of people on different sides and everything, and a lot of people said it was unnecessary to put Conrad and Devon against each other. And I agree, it was absolutely the most unnecessary plot line they could have possibly had. So that's really all we have for like the topics in the episode. So before we go, we want to mention in November, we are going to have a full slate of podcasts. There's 5 Mondays in November.
We're going to finish up at season 1.
And we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving with 112, which is Rude Awakenings and the Raptor. The first episode with Malcolm in it.
Yeah.
That episode is also a very heavy episode for Stephen Reddington, who plays Brett. I have had some issues because if you haven't noticed the way the podcast titles are done, they're kind of, they give a plot point out from each episode. Also the episode title. That way you know what episode we're doing. Well, it's either going to have to be talking about Stephen's storyline or Malcolm's storyline. And the point is, I would make 2 graphics, and you guys, the listeners, we're going to move a poll, and I want you to choose which one. And whatever the one that doesn't win, we will put on our Patreon for you to look at. But there's that. Just so y'all are aware. And I'll get that ready. But I'm still working on the graphics. We do have a Patreon, like I just mentioned. You can go to patreon.com/The Resident Podcast. And I'm sorry we haven't gotten our BTS of Bruce's interview up. Like I said, I work 5 days a week, and I live by myself now. It's been a very busy time for me. Just finished a major project.
But thank you to our one patron. I really appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. I'll get you that, and like I said, I will make that graphic, and whichever one does it, we'll go to Patreon. So there's that. You can do $1 a month and you get BTS. There's tiers, and you can go up, and you can get shirts and stickers and
you get T-shirts and mugs. The more
mugs and stickers and stuff like that. The higher you pay, whatever the case, and you still get the BTS. Okay, the BTS is a given, but it has to be at least $1. Anyway, so that being said, also social media, which is where the polls will be. The polls will be posted on all 3, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So our Facebook is the Resident Rulebreakers podcast, and then there's the Facebook group, which is the Resident Fox Fans. If you're not a member of the Resident Fox Fans, but you like our Facebook page, there's a join group button at the top of the page. And
Join the group.
Join the group. Answer all the questions.
Yeah.
Or we'll decline you. And then I know that. Or go to the FAQ. There is a FAQ thing in the announcements, and we want you to read them. We beg of you, because we're tired of answering the same question over and over again, especially now that Fox has confirmed the release.
The frequently asked questions at the top of the group page answers pretty much every question, that we get all the time.
So, yeah, there's that. Instagram, the Resident Podcast, at the Resident Podcast. Thank you for all the followers. We've been growing on Instagram. I think that was...
We almost have 600 followers. We only have 2 more.
Yeah, and anyway, so also you can follow Camille, the Resident on Fox Fans, and then you can follow me, KB Country 37, and then Twitter, which is at Resident Podcast. Okay, I've been trying more to get more of our stuff over onto Twitter, but like I said, we will have a poll that will be triple posted across the platforms soon when I can get those graphics made. So, and then our email, which is theresidentRulebreakers@gmail.com. You can always email us, and you can always comment on our YouTube channel, because we love reading those. And speaking of YouTube, we are on YouTube. Right now, it's audio only. The videos are literally just the audio version of what we do, what you're listening to. And then, but when and if, they're obviously they're in the process of filming the show, so we're not going to get cast. We're not going to get creators at this point. We're not going to get interviews. We were lucky enough to have them through the hiatus, but we're not going to get that now that they're working again. But when and if it happens again, you'll get a video thing with it. Anyway, so other ways to listen: Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and of course, I already mentioned YouTube. So next week, well, 2 things. One, we're here in America, and we're close to our presidential election day. Vote, guys. Vote, please. And I'm not going to get more political than that at this point. Just vote. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Stay safe. If you're trick-or-treating, wear a mask.
And next week, we will be discussing episode 111, which is And the Nurses Get Screwed. Pretty much, it's Conrad trying to defend Nick from
again.
Yeah.
Conrad is always defending, knight in shining armor.
So, anyways, stay tuned for that. Be safe out there. And I'm Kayla.
And I'm Camille.
Bye, guys.
Adios.